High in the remote Himalayas, there's a substance so valuable that monkeys risk their lives climbing treacherous cliffs just to consume it. And local monks who use it daily report enhanced intuition, vivid dreams, and manifestation abilities that defy rational explanation. This isn't some New Age fad either. Instead, it's backed by mounting scientific evidence, showing this rare black resin contains a unique form of fulvic acid that can penetrate your blood-brain barrier and reverse the calcification of your pineal gland. Why does this matter? Because your pineal gland, the mysterious third eye at the center of your brain, is literally turning to stone inside your head right now. This calcification process isn't just some abstract biological curiosity either. It has profound effects on your consciousness, blocking your natural abilities for intuition, manifestation, and mental clarity. I know this because I accidentally discovered an 1870 explorer's journal that first documented this phenomenon. What happened next led me down a rabbit hole of ancient wisdom, cutting-edge neuroscience, and a startling realization about why most people never access their full mental potential. So make sure you watch this short video all the way to the end, because it's the only way you can see the truth for yourself. Allow me to briefly introduce myself before we dive in. Hi, my name is James Cornwell. I'm a high school teacher from Akron, Ohio. I've spent the last 20 years teaching teenagers about the wonders of the natural world. But nothing in my textbooks prepared me for what I discovered on a remote Himalayan mountainside 2 years ago. A discovery that would lead me down a rabbit hole of ancient wisdom, cutting-edge neuroscience, and a conspiracy to keep one of nature's most powerful substances out of the hands of ordinary people. It all started when I received an unexpected phone call from a former student. "Mr. Cornwell," he said, "how would you like to join a scientific expedition to Nepal? All expenses paid." Turns out this former student had become quite successful in the tech industry and was sponsoring a field trip for gifted students to study Himalayan geology. They needed a science teacher to serve as a chaperone and guide. It was the opportunity of a lifetime, so of course I said yes. Little did I know that this trip would completely transform my understanding of human potential and literally change the very trajectory of my life. It'll change yours too by the time we finish this short video. We arrived in Nepal during the early spring, when the mountain trails were just becoming passable after the winter snows. Our local guides took us through breathtaking valleys and up-winding mountain paths, taking time to explain the unique geological formations along the way. But on our third day of exploration, something strange happened. As I ventured toward a particular section of the mountain to examine some unusual rock formations, one of our guides suddenly shouted at me, "Get away from there. That area is forbidden." His reaction seemed a bit extreme, especially since there were no obvious dangers. But just before I turned back, I noticed something unusual, partially buried in the snow. It looked like a book. I quickly picked it up and slipped it into my jacket pocket before rejoining the group. That night, alone in my hotel room, I read through my find. It wasn't just any book. It was a journal. A leather-bound journal from a British explorer named Colonel Reginald Harrington, dating back to the 1870s. As I carefully examined the fragile pages, I discovered something that would change the course of my life forever. Colonel Harrington had documented something extraordinary about the monkeys living high in the Himalayas. Unlike their cousins in lower regions, these mountain monkeys stayed sharp and agile well into old age. Even stranger, every summer these monkeys would make a dangerous journey up treacherous cliffs just to eat a mysterious black substance that oozed from the rocks. The locals called it Shilajit, which literally means conqueror of mountains and destroyer of weakness. But here's where it gets really interesting. The journal contained detailed observations about how this substance wasn't just consumed by monkeys. Alexander the Great's armies carried it into battle. Ancient kings traded it for its weight in gold, and Himalayan monks had used it for thousands of years to awaken what they called their third eye. I was fascinated, but skeptical. After all, I am a science teacher, which means I need evidence, not just stories. So when I returned to the States, I began researching everything I could find about this mysterious substance. And what I discovered blew my mind. Modern scientists had analyzed this tar-like resin and found something remarkable. It contains a rare compound that prevents something called tau protein buildup in your brain. Why is this important? Because tau protein buildup is one of the main things that causes your brain to rust and deteriorate with age, particularly your pineal gland that's buried deep inside your brain. And this mysterious mountain resin is one of the only substances known to fight it. But that's just scratching the surface of this ancient brain preservation secret. Because how this brain-boosting resin was actually formed is even more fascinating. You see, this isn't just some random substance that leaks from mountains. It's actually the result of a process that took millions of years. Ancient plant matter slowly compressed between mountain rocks, transformed by time and pressure into something completely new. Think of it like oil, except instead of powering cars, this powers your brain. And here's the crazy part. This process concentrated certain compounds so intensely that just a small amount contains more beneficial properties than pounds of the original plants, which explains why Alexander the Great's armies would carry small chunks of this black resin on their belts during battle. They discovered it helped wounds heal faster, but more importantly, it kept their minds sharp during long campaigns. In fact, this stuff was considered so valuable that kings and emperors would literally trade its weight in gold. But despite all this historical evidence, modern science kinda forgot about it. Until recently, when researchers discovered something that changed everything. You see, this ancient resin contains a unique form of fulvic acid that can actually cross the blood-brain barrier. That's the super-selective security system that protects your brain. And when it does, it acts like a molecular key, unlocking your brain's natural ability to clear out toxic buildups, restore neural pathways, and even de-rust your pineal gland. That's the mysterious third eye gland that regulates everything from sleep to manifestation to mental clarity. But here's where things get really interesting, and honestly, a bit disturbing. You see, there's something happening to the human pineal gland that ancient healers warned about thousands of years ago. But modern science is only now beginning to understand. It's called calcification, and it's affecting nearly 100% of adults in the developing world. Let me explain exactly what's happening inside your brain right now, even as you watch this video. Your pineal gland, this tiny pine cone-shaped organ sitting in the center of your brain, is literally turning to stone. I'm not exaggerating. Medical researchers using advanced brain imaging have confirmed that by age 17, most people already show signs of pineal calcification. And by age 40, the average person's pineal gland is about 40% calcified. By 60, it can be up to 70% hardened with calcium phosphate deposits. It's as if nature's most powerful antenna inside your brain is being systematically encased in concrete. But why is this happening? And why is it happening at such an alarming rate in modern times? The answer lies in what I call the triple threat of modern living. First, there's fluoride. Most people don't realize this, but fluoride has an unusual affinity for the pineal gland. Studies show it accumulates in the pineal at levels far higher than in any other organ, even higher than in your teeth and bones. And what does fluoride do once it reaches your pineal gland? It forms crystals, hard calcified crystals that literally turn this soft, spongy gland into something resembling a small stone. But it gets worse. The second threat is heavy metals. Aluminum, mercury, and other environmental toxins we're exposed to daily don't just pass through our bodies. They accumulate. And guess where many of them end up? That's right, concentrated in the pineal gland. These metals accelerate the calcification process, essentially fast-tracking the hardening of your third eye. And finally, there's electromagnetic radiation. The constant bombardment from cell phones, Wi-Fi, and other electronic devices creates what scientists call oxidative stress in the brain. This oxidative stress triggers an inflammatory response, which then leads to, you guessed it, more calcification. It's a perfect storm of pineal destruction. But here's the truly frightening part. This calcification process isn't just some abstract biological curiosity. It has real, measurable effects on your consciousness and capabilities. As your pineal gland calcifies, it produces less melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycles. This is why so many people struggle with insomnia and sleep disorders as they age. But the pineal gland doesn't just produce melatonin. Recent research suggests it may also produce something called DMT, the spirit molecule, in small amounts during deep meditation, dreams, and other altered states of consciousness. This could explain why people with heavily calcified pineal glands often report difficulty accessing intuitive insights, reduced dream recall and vividness, diminished creative thinking, feelings of spiritual disconnection, and perhaps most significantly, an inability to manifest desired outcomes in their lives. Think about it this way. If your pineal gland is truly the physical location of your third eye, as ancient traditions suggest, then calcification is essentially like developing cataracts on your spiritual vision. You're still technically able to see, but everything is cloudy, dim, and distorted. And the worst part? This calcification process is happening to virtually everyone in the modern world, starting from childhood. It's as if we're all walking around with our most powerful internal antenna, the one designed to connect us to our highest potential, covered in layers of concrete. No wonder so many people feel disconnected, uninspired, and unable to manifest the lives they truly desire. No wonder the ancient spiritual practices that worked for thousands of years seem less effective for modern practitioners. It's not that these techniques don't work. It's that the physical organ they're designed to activate has been systematically disabled by our modern environment. This is the hidden epidemic no one is talking about. The systematic calcification of humanity's third eye. And until you address this fundamental problem, no amount of meditation, visualization, or manifestation practice will deliver the results you're seeking, because you're essentially trying to tune into cosmic frequencies with a receiver that's been deliberately disabled. But here's where our story takes an extraordinary turn, because nature, in her infinite wisdom, has provided a solution to this modern crisis. And it comes in the form of this mysterious mountain resin I've been telling you about. You see, Shilajit isn't just another supplement or superfood. It's what scientists call a biological force multiplier, a substance so uniquely structured that it enhances the function of everything it comes in contact with. And when it comes to your calcified pineal gland, it works through a mechanism so remarkable that it borders on the miraculous. Let me explain exactly how it works. Remember that fulvic acid I mentioned earlier? The compound in Shilajit that can cross the blood-brain barrier? Well, it turns out this substance has a unique molecular structure that makes it nature's perfect decalcifying agent. Here's why. Fulvic acid molecules are extremely small, less than 500 daltons in size. This tiny molecular structure allows them to penetrate places in your body that other substances simply cannot reach. But more importantly, these molecules carry a negative electrical charge, and calcium phosphate deposits, the primary component of pineal calcification, carry a positive charge. See where I'm going with this? When fulvic acid enters your bloodstream and crosses the blood-brain barrier, it's naturally drawn to these calcified deposits like a magnet. It literally seeks out the calcium phosphate crystals in your pineal gland and binds to them through a process scientists call chelation. Once bound, the fulvic acid begins to break down these hardened deposits, gradually dissolving the calcium prison that's been built around your third eye. But that's just the beginning of how Shilajit works its magic, because this resin doesn't just contain fulvic acid, it also contains over 84 other minerals in their ionic form, meaning they're perfectly bioavailable to your cells. These minerals serve as essential helpers for the enzymes your pineal gland needs to function optimally. Think of it like this. If your pineal gland is a factory that produces consciousness-enhancing compounds, these minerals are the raw materials the factory needs to operate at full capacity. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. Shilajit also contains something called dibenzoalpha-pyrones, complex organic compounds that protect your cells from oxidative damage. This is crucial because once your pineal gland begins to decalcify, it becomes more metabolically active, which means it produces more free radicals as a byproduct of its increased activity. Without protection, this oxidative stress could trigger inflammation and lead to, you guessed it, more calcification. It's as if Shilajit not only removes the concrete encasing your third eye, but also shields it from further damage, while also supplying it with everything it needs to function at its highest potential. But the true genius of our formula lies in what we call the pineal activation stack. You see, while Shilajit alone is powerful, we discovered that when combined with specific other compounds in precise ratios, its effects are magnified exponentially. This is where modern science meets ancient wisdom in a truly revolutionary way. Our research led us to develop a three-phase approach that doesn't just decalcify your pineal gland, but completely restores and optimizes its function. Phase 1 is detoxification. This is where Shilajit works synergistically with chlorella and burdock to bind to and remove the calcium phosphate deposits, heavy metals, and other toxins that have accumulated in and around your pineal gland. It's like removing the concrete that's been poured over your spiritual antenna. Phase 2 is protection. Once the calcification begins to dissolve, your pineal gland becomes more vulnerable to oxidative stress and inflammation, which could trigger recalcification if left unchecked. That's why we've included amla, chaga, and turmeric, 3 of nature's most powerful antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents, to create a protective shield around your newly liberated third eye. And finally, phase 3 is activation. This is where schizandra enters the picture. This remarkable adaptogen has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for over 2,000 years to enhance what they called Shen, the spiritual aspect of consciousness. Modern research suggests schizandra works by enhancing mitochondrial function in your brain cells and modulating neurotransmitter activity, essentially turning up the volume on your pineal gland's natural functions. When combined with decalcified protected pineal tissue, the results can be nothing short of transformative. This three-phase approach is completely unique to this formula. Nothing out there addresses pineal calcification in this comprehensive, systematic way. My hands were shaking as I finished reading the last entry in Colonel Reginald Harrington's journal. Could this really be true? A natural substance hidden high in the Himalayas that could decalcify the pineal gland, the legendary third eye, and activate abilities I'd only read about in ancient texts? As a science teacher, my logical mind screamed, impossible. But the detailed observations in the journal, the historical accounts, the sheer consistency of the claims across centuries, something deep inside me knew this was real. I felt like I'd stumbled upon the key to unlocking our full human potential. A secret hidden in plain sight, dismissed by modern science but revered by ancient wisdom. I became obsessed. Over the next 8 months, I spent every spare moment researching Shilajit, digging through obscure scientific papers, ancient Ayurvedic texts, and historical records. The more I learned, the more convinced I became. But finding real high-quality Shilajit, that was another story entirely. The market was flooded with fakes, low-grade powders, resins cut with cheap fillers. Most of it was useless junk, and truth is, I almost gave up, thinking maybe Colonel Reginald Harrington's discovery was lost to time, or maybe it only worked for those Himalayan monks. But then through a connection I made at a scientific conference years ago, a researcher who specialized in high-altitude botany, I found a small family-run operation in a remote region of the Himalayas. They harvested Shilajit using traditional methods passed down for generations, ensuring its purity and potency. It was expensive, ridiculously so, but I knew I had to try it. When the small jar of thick black resin arrived, it felt different, primal, alive. I started taking just a tiny amount each morning, as the journal described. Within a week, the brain fog I hadn't even realized was plaguing me began to lift. My thoughts became sharper, clearer, my dreams became incredibly vivid, almost lucid. And then came the intuitive flashes, sudden insights, solutions to problems popping into my head, seemingly out of nowhere. It was working. But I knew from the journal and from my research that Shilajit was only part of the equation. It could detoxify the pineal gland, but to truly activate it, to protect it from future calcification, I needed something more. That's when I dove back into the science, looking for the natural compounds that could synergize with Shilajit. Compounds that could cross the blood-brain barrier, protect against oxidative stress, and support neurotransmitter function. It took months of painstaking searching, but eventually I sourced the key ingredients for what I now call the pineal activation stack. Combining the purest Shilajit I could find with this precise blend of synergistic nutrients, the results were astounding. My intuition became razor sharp, my ability to focus felt superhuman, and the synchronicities, the coincidences, started happening almost daily. Opportunities seemed to manifest out of thin air. In fact, one day I realized I was actually manifesting my dream life. At that point, I knew I couldn't keep this to myself. So I cautiously shared my formula with a few trusted friends and colleagues who were open-minded enough to try it. Sarah, a fellow teacher constantly stressed and overwhelmed, actually manifested enough money to finally retire. Mark, a musician struggling with creative block, suddenly found melodies flowing effortlessly, which led to a massive record deal. One by one, they reported similar results I could only describe as manifestation miracles. That's when I knew I had to share this with others. This wasn't just about improving focus or intuition. This was about activating a fundamental aspect of human potential that had been suppressed for too long. I knew the mainstream medical establishment would dismiss it, maybe even try to shut it down. But the results were undeniable. I had to find a way to share this, to get this formula into the hands of people like you. People who deep down know they're capable of more. People ready to awaken their own third eye and reclaim their birthright. So I'm thrilled to introduce to you Pineal Awakening. It's the only formulation on Earth that combines ultra-pure Himalayan Shilajit with our proprietary pineal activation stack to help decalcify and activate your pineal gland. And the best part is that it does so effortlessly. There's literally nothing else like it on the planet. While everyone else is out chasing the next brain-boosting fad, talking about nootropics and smart drugs that just stimulate your brain temporarily, you can simply take 2 capsules of Pineal Awakening daily and activate your abilities you never knew you had, all by de-rusting and activating the powerful gland that's already inside you. Now, just take a minute to think about all the ways people try to manifest. Expensive meditation retreats that take weeks of your time, dangerous synthetic compounds with unknown side effects, digital brain training apps that only exercise a tiny fraction of your cognitive abilities, psychedelic journeys that can be unpredictable and illegal in most places. But I don't want you to have to go through any of that, which is why I'm so excited to share Pineal Awakening with you today. Because nature never meant for your pineal gland to become calcified and dormant. And I know how frustrating it is to feel like you're operating at less than your full potential, to have that nagging feeling that you're missing something important, that your intuition isn't as sharp as it could be, that your mental clarity isn't what it once was, and you couldn't manifest your way out of a wet paper bag if you wanted to. It's not your fault, though. Our modern environment is keeping your pineal gland suppressed. But now that you know about the ancient substance that can help decalcify and activate your third eye, you can join the thousands of other people who've used Pineal Awakening to transform their mental and manifestation capabilities. Like Brandon from Birmingham, Alabama, who says, "After 15 years in a corporate job I hated, Pineal Awakening gave me vivid dreams about a business idea. 6 months later, my side business replaced my salary. Now I work 20 hours weekly, making triple my old income. Opportunities find me effortlessly, like the universe is helping me succeed." Or Mary from Lincoln, Nebraska. "After 22 years in the same town and job, Pineal Awakening changed everything. Using my new manifestation abilities, I attracted a remote position and now live in a different country every 3 months. I've tripled my income while working just 4 hours a day." And we love Amanda from Seattle, Washington's story. "Post-divorce, I was financially devastated. 3 weeks on Pineal Awakening, I manifested a social media following that now covers all my expenses with plenty left over. I also wrote down my ideal relationship. 2 weeks later, I met him. Now I have freedom to live life entirely on my terms." Okay, so now you're probably thinking, sounds great, but how exactly do I use Pineal Awakening? And I love answering this question because it's so simple. Here's what you do. Take 2 capsules in the morning or whenever you wake up. That's it. From there, you simply let the pineal activation stack inside of Pineal Awakening do its thing. Soon you may start to notice your dreams becoming more vivid, your intuition becomes more reliable, and a level of mental clarity you haven't experienced since childhood. Not to mention the most exciting part, activating your internal manifestation abilities, just like it did for me and thousands of people who've tested Pineal Awakening since then. Now, by now, you're probably also wondering, how much do I need? That's a great question, and I want to be upfront with you. Truth is, sourcing authentic, high-potency Shilajit from the remote peaks of the Himalayas is incredibly difficult. It has to be harvested at the right altitude, during the right season, using traditional methods to preserve its delicate molecular structure. Most of the Shilajit you see online, it's low-grade powder, or worse, completely fake resin cut with cheap fillers. We work with a small family-run operation that provides us with the purest, most potent Shilajit on Earth. But their supply is limited. And frankly, ever since word started getting out about Pineal Awakening, ever since people started experiencing these incredible shifts in clarity, intuition, and manifestation, demand has skyrocketed. We're having trouble keeping it in stock. We're doing everything we can to increase production without compromising quality. But the reality is, we could run out at any moment. And the last thing I want is for you to start experiencing the incredible benefits of a decalcified pineal gland, only to run out and have to wait weeks or even months for our next batch, allowing that calcification to potentially start building up again. That's why I strongly recommend you choose either the 6-bottle or 3-bottle package today while we're still in stock. Here's why it's crucial to try Pineal Awakening for at least 90 days. Decalcifying your pineal gland doesn't happen overnight. It's been accumulating those toxic deposits for years, maybe decades. While many users report feeling changes within the first few weeks, the real deep transformation, the unlocking of your full intuitive potential, the effortless manifestation, that comes with consistent use over time. Think of it like chipping away at rust. The longer you apply the solution, the cleaner and more functional the underlying mechanism becomes. Our research and user feedback show that the most profound results typically occur after 3 to 6 months of continuous use. This gives the powerful ingredients in Pineal Awakening enough time to fully detoxify, protect, and activate your pineal gland, allowing those dormant abilities to truly awaken and integrate into your life. So while 1 bottle will give you a taste of what's possible, ordering 3 bottles ensures you have enough for that crucial 90-day period to experience significant changes. And ordering 6 bottles, that gives you the best possible chance to activate a complete transformation, to fully decalcify and activate your third eye, and lock in those incredible benefits for the long term, without worrying about running out or finding us out of stock when you need to reorder. And again, this is the only place you can get the genuine Pineal Awakening formula. Don't be fooled by cheap imitations online. If it didn't come from this website, it doesn't contain our proprietary pineal activation stack combined with ultra-pure Himalayan Shilajit. But I need to warn you about something right now. Truth is, I don't know how much longer this webpage is going to be up. I'm telling you this because this is the only place you can get the authentic Pineal Awakening with our proprietary pineal activation stack. Here's the problem. The same powerful interests that have been suppressing information about pineal activation for centuries are not happy about this being leaked. After all, a population with enhanced intuition, mental clarity, and activated manifestation powers is much harder to control. And as we know, these people didn't end up in positions of power by accident, so they definitely don't want the public to know about this. I can tell you this from experience because they've tried shutting down this website numerous times already, and unfortunately, they've been successful ones. So the truth is, I don't know if I'll be able to get it back up next time. So if you even think you want Pineal Awakening, and who wouldn't, I urge you not to close out of this page until you've secured your supply. And let me address something right now. This is not about money for me. I'm still a high school science teacher, even though I'm a millionaire now. I do this because I believe everyone deserves to experience their full mental potential. I could easily keep this formula to myself and a small circle of friends, but I feel like I owe it to humanity to expose the truth. There's no reason why people need to suffer with calcified pineal glands now that we know about this incredible substance that nature has provided. Which is why I'm not going to ask you to break the bank just to get your supply of Pineal Awakening, because we both know what I could charge for this life-altering discovery. Normally, given the rarity of the ingredients and the incredible results, Pineal Awakening retails for $120 a bottle. And in fact, numerous people have told me that I should charge upwards of $300 per bottle for this formula. But I'm not in this for the money. My mission is to get this out to as many people as possible before they finally shut down this website for good. And charging a hefty fee like that would eliminate most of the folks I want to help. So I won't ask you to invest anywhere near $300 today. Heck, I wouldn't even ask you to pay half that. In fact, I'm not even interested in making a profit on this. All I ask is that you cover the expenses it takes to source these rare ingredients and run this website. Which is why, for people watching this video right now, you can get a 1-month supply for just $67. But that's just the start. Because I know most people will want to experience the full benefits that come with long-term use, and because it saves us on processing and shipping costs when you order more, we've created special discounts for multi-bottle packages. When you choose the 3-bottle option today, you won't pay $67 per bottle. You'll get each bottle for just $57, saving you $30 off the regular price. But the best value by far is the 6-bottle package. When you commit to your transformation and stock up on a 6-month supply today, you'll get each bottle for the incredibly low price of just $47. That's a massive savings of $120 off the regular price. Plus, to make this an absolute no-brainer, when you order the 3-bottle or 6-bottle package today, we'll even cover the shipping costs for you. That's right, free shipping when you stock up. So not only do you save big on the price per bottle, you save on shipping too. This is, without a doubt, the smartest way to secure your supply of Pineal Awakening and ensure you get the best possible results at the lowest possible price. These incredible discounts are only available right here, right now, while supplies last. So select the 6-bottle option below, or whichever package works best for you, and claim your supply before we run out of stock. All you have to do is click the button that just appeared below this video. Once you've hit that button, you'll be taken to our 100% safe and secure checkout page, where you'll enter your information and payment details, and as soon as you hit submit, your order will be processed and shipped within 24 hours. But that's not all you'll get when you place your order today, because I've decided to throw in a few free gifts when you order Pineal Awakening today. Just consider these bonuses for taking action today. Free bonus number 1, the Pineal Meditation Protocol, a $97 value. This 15-minute guided video meditation is specially designed to enhance the effects of Pineal Awakening. It uses sound frequencies that research suggests may help stimulate pineal gland activity. Many users report that combining this meditation with Pineal Awakening accelerates their results dramatically. Free bonus number 2, Third Eye Nutrition Guide, $45 value. This comprehensive guide reveals the foods that help support pineal gland health and the ones that make calcification worse. Following these simple dietary guidelines alongside taking Pineal Awakening can potentially double your results. Free bonus number 3, Dream Journal and Interpretation Guide, $55 value. As your pineal gland begins to decalcify, many users report more vivid and meaningful dreams. This beautiful digital journal includes templates for recording your dreams and a comprehensive guide to understanding their potential meanings and messages. Okay, so those 3 bonuses, a total value of $197, are yours free when you get Pineal Awakening today. Oh, and one more thing I want to mention. When you place your order from this website, you're backed by our 365-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Here's how it works. Simply click the button that's below this video you're watching right now and place your order for Pineal Awakening. Once you receive your supply, I want you to take 2 capsules every morning with breakfast. And I want you to do this for at least 30 days in a row. If you do this, there is no doubt in my mind that you will start experiencing changes in your mental clarity, intuition, and most importantly, your manifestation abilities. Now, the effects come differently for every person based on your current level of calcification. I don't know exactly what it will look like for you, but I promise you'll know when you experience it. So if you want to join the ranks of people unlocking their brain's full potential, I urge you to order your supply of Pineal Awakening right now. And I know that your life will be infinitely better because you took action when you had the chance. But if for any reason that turns out not to be the case, and you're not completely satisfied with your experience after activating your pineal gland, simply shoot us an email or pick up the phone and give us a call. And we'll refund you every penny on the spot, no questions asked. Which means when you click the button below this video to place your order today, you're basically just signing up to take Pineal Awakening on a test drive. And you've got an entire year to experience what life can be like once you've decalcified and activated your pineal gland. I've decided to shoulder all the responsibility here so that I can help as many people as possible while this webpage is still up, which probably won't be long. So click the button below this video and place your order with zero risk to you, because you're backed by our 1-year, 100% money-back guarantee. I made this so that it would be a no-brainer decision for you today. After all, what have you got to lose? Look, you're now at the crossroads, and you have to make a choice. You could ignore everything you've heard today and continue living life with a calcified pineal gland, never knowing what it feels like to have truly enhanced intuition, mental clarity, and possibly even manifestation abilities, while your third eye remains dormant, and you never experience your full potential. Or you can take a chance on yourself today. You can make the decision right now to try Pineal Awakening risk-free for a full year and potentially experience what ancient spiritual masters and Himalayan monks have known for centuries, that the key to unlocking your mind's full potential has been inside you all along. It just needed to be decalcified and activated. The choice is yours, but I urge you to make it quickly because I honestly don't know how much longer this website will remain online. Click the button below now, and I'll see you on the other side. How long does it take to see results? While everyone's experience is different, many users report noticing changes in dream vividness within the first week. More significant changes to intuition and mental clarity typically begin after 3 to 4 weeks of consistent use. Is Pineal Awakening safe? Yes, all ingredients in our formula are natural and have been used safely for centuries. However, as with any supplement, we recommend consulting with your healthcare provider before beginning, especially if you have existing conditions or are taking medications. How is Pineal Awakening different from other Shilajit supplements? Most Shilajit supplements on the market contain low-quality or even fake Shilajit. Our formula not only contains ultra-pure Himalayan Shilajit, but also combines it with our proprietary pineal activation stack that works through our 3-phase process of detoxify, protect, and activate. How many capsules come in each bottle? Each bottle contains 60 capsules, which is a full 30-day supply when taken as directed. What if it doesn't work for me? While the vast majority of our customers experience positive results, we understand that everybody's body is different. That's why we offer our industry-leading 365-day money-back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied for any reason, simply return the product for a full refund.